stream. Let's break it down. The broken baker's coming to town. From Denmark with love, watching courts go wild. American drama got me hooked like a child. Twists in the courtroom, objections all day. Live on the screen, come and join the fray. Step one, grab your coffee, settle in tight. Step two, laugh at the chaos left and right. Step three, Danish take on the law so crazy. Step four, hit subscribe, don't be lazy. Oh yeah! He's the broken baker, breaking down cases, real truth shaker. Witty and fun from across the sea. The broken baker set my free. Hey, hey, broken baker, Danish style so smooth. Legal madness in the groove. Yeah, join the live today. The broken baker here to slay. High profile trials, witnesses spin. Alibis cracking, let the fun begin. Outside of you with a humorous twist. True crime fans, you don't wanna miss. Even when it's broken, we find the fun. Danish baker baking truth for everyone. The broken baker, yeah. Hit that bell, let's go
Hello. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are, whoever you are, what if any you are. And welcome to day 4, part 1. According to what I read yesterday on the interwebs, the state has 2 witnesses left. So we potentially have the defense starting today. But first of all, Floyd Man just became a member. Thank you so much, Floyd Man D9. Denied. And Kasima, our British friend, and Tina, our best thoughts. Oh, e-thoughts. Thank you. This is the first time I've gotten to see you opening in, man. Oh, man. Is this the most Danish thing I've seen? Gotta say, looks a little Swedish. Tina Hansen, don't start with the sweet stuff. I've been called a Yahtzee and everything online, but Swedish, there is a limit. No, it's not my birthday. It's my birthday tomorrow. And remember, in Denmark, it's bad luck to wish someone happy birthday on any other day than their birthday. I know Aiden said it because someone in his chat said it, but it's tomorrow. Tomorrow, the 21st of January, I will be 27 years old. I'm kind of dreading it. It's been, as you know, there's the Club 27, so fingers crossed it won't happen to me. And Winnie's mom says, happy birthday. Well, Winnie's mom, I will put you on a note, but I won't put it anywhere other than for tomorrow, because it's bad luck to wish anyone a happy birthday till it is their birthday. And I know you Americans can have birthday months and birthday years and birthday whatever. In Denmark, you have your birthday, and you're not anything but that. You will have bad luck. Maybe I should just But of course, I expect all of you sing the Danish birthday song to me tomorrow. Not fair. My birthday stopped at 21 and not just get VAT. How did you get to 27? Well, I've been here 26 years, so yeah, tomorrow will be my 21st birthday, 27th birthday, sorry, and I will be spending it in Odense with David and Mads and David's wonderful wife. I hope this trial, well, it starts at 4 o'clock my time, and I'm meeting with them at 10. So I should be back, hopefully, roughly as it starts. But there is a few other crime troopers out there who covers it as well. So you won't be wanting for the trial, but let's see how far they get today. I never had the only gold jewelry I ever had was my wedding band because of my complexion. I wear silver. Can you send it to us on YouTube so we can practice? Well, I've sung it for you a million times. I'm sure some women would love to give you a birthday spanking too. Why should I get a spanking? I did nothing wrong. I don't know. It's not my birthday. It's my birthday tomorrow. It's bad luck to wish anyone in Denmark a happy birthday on any other day than their birthday. I hope someone slips you a brand new baguette for your birthday. Well, as long as it's not a bagel, because bagels are useless. By the way, thank you, Holly Mac, for sending a gift. I will open it tomorrow. So, but this has arrived. Marissa's package was out for delivery, and then I got a notice saying, "No, by the way, we sent it back because there's hot honey in it. That's not allowed." After she had reached out to them and said, "What the fuck is going on?" I got J7 sent 4 different packages, and right now it looks like 3 of them cleared customs. One of them is stuck in customs. I will have to pay a custom fee to get them in, but they haven't sent me the custom fee. So everything is working great with international shipping. Are you telling me I've just cursed the baker? Should we have Jess and Jimmy do a seance? I tell every year, I tell people in advance, you don't wish Danish people a happy birthday until their birthday. And everyone is always, "Oh, it's your birthday tomorrow. Happy." No, don't do it. It's the 21st in Australia. Well, some parts of Australia. They say they sent you the fee. Yeah, but normally I'll get the fee in the app, but it's not in the app. So I got in contact with customer support, their AI, and it said, "Well, there might be a mistake in the app, so we mailed you a letter. It might take 10 business days to arrive." Come on. They can also send me a text. No, they probably gave me a letter that'll take up to 10 business days to arrive. So I don't know, but that's how it is. If Canada can get it to me in a week, but the rest not so easy. We in America, we don't care about your Dutch superstitions. No, you should care more about them. That will save you for a lot of trouble. You wouldn't have a state seal that is clearly sexual like Virginia's if you were just a little more superstitious. Hey, Alfie. Hey, Money. So, 10 minutes till the show is over because Money has just arrived.
Please be seated.
Thank you.
That's okay. That works. All right, good morning. All right, I think we are at where you're going to have the voir dire of your expert, correct?
Judge, we would call Iris
Before you-
Delagraph.
All right, right, before you do that, I just want to make sure, are you just moving her in?
It's a percentage of the value of the items in the package. For instance, when I bought one of my cups cost, I think, I can't remember how much it cost, but there was a tax on them for not that much. And there was a handling fee that cost more than the shipping and the cup combined. So it's the handling fee that is the biggest piece of crap. 15 months with Sandra D. Nope, not till tomorrow. Love this judge. She was brilliant in depth. She's been very, very good, and she's very, very straightforward. Yeah, this is one. She sent 4 packages. One of them cleared customs before the rest of them. And they said, we have to send you a customs something. And then the rest of them says they're ready to be delivered tomorrow. So if it goes like Marissa's, they will probably end up in Brisbane, Australia tomorrow. Does it cost you money to receive if we go through a retailer and send you packages? I don't know how you do that. So, yeah. Did J7 try and mail herself again? No, I don't. It's 4 packages, so I hope not. What about from the UK? Do you get that post easy? I don't know. I've never gotten anything from the UK. UK don't like me. The retailers won't ship to Denmark. Right now, there is a customs war going on between the US and America, and it's been really effed up. I still have all of my Halloween stuff that I can't get shipped out. So we'll figure it out someday. And again, thank you for trying, at least. Why was the woman afraid for the calendar? She said that its days were numbered. I need to maybe I should figure out how to do that Amazon thing everyone is always talking about, so I can be like Twisted Tragedy and have an Amazon thing. Maybe that'll get through. But again, thank you so much for the thought. It's the thought that counts, as we say in Denmark.
As a expert in blood spatter? Because the response to your motion seemed to be that way. I just want to make sure.
It's blood spatter and forensic analysis.
What do you mean by forensic analysis? I think that's where Mr. Carroll and I are a little confused.
Okay, I'm sorry, I didn't realize the court had any confusion after our last motion. I thought we were clear that she's going to testify to the matter that was produced in her report. Mr. Carroll has had a copy of that. It is blood spatter analysis.
Right.
Right, and how
spatter, yes.
that appears.
Yeah, I know I showed
Okay,
my
so that's all.
address.
Yeah, I think there was
I've
a part
been
of the report
doxed out
that
there
talked about
anyway.
firearm reconstruction.
We are not going into that at all.
I think that was the main concern of Mr. Carroll.
It's not a
That
big
was part of
problem.
the concerns, Judge, and when they basically,
Thank you.
sorry, I'm wanderer.
That's okay.
That was part of the concerns, Judge, but when they withdrew their report or they committed to not presenting
Right.
the report, then we didn't really enter into some of the other aspects. Some of the other aspects that I would want to address are, there are some leaps made in that report regarding the bloodstain pattern analysis, and there's some areas where evidence is
Well, right.
linked, but.
I understand.
Do you call a
Is
hippie's
that-
wife
Is that just a
Mississippi?
cross-examination thing, or is that to qualify her as an expert?
Miss Hippie.
If I will say this, if it's just blood spatter analysis, then I've looked over her credentials, and I think that aside from a couple of questions, I'm not going to have any objection to it, but I do need to ask a few questions.
Okay, I understand you have to ask a few questions, but it doesn't seem like that's something we have to do outside the presence of the jury if they're not going into shooting reconstruction. I don't know, I'm asking you, because it just
Yeah.
seems like it's more of you're going to object to some of the questions she might be asked, or
Yes.
something along the lines, but not to her expertise in blood spatter.
Blood spatter, I don't have an objection to her expertise.
All right,
And just to clarify, so we're using the correct language, it is blood stain pattern analysis. if
that's
that were
fine,
objectionable.
blood stain pattern analysis. You don't have objection to that,
No
correct?
objection, no. I believe that's.
All right, I think we can do that in front of the jury then, just to save a little time. After I read your response to the motion, I just want to make sure we're on the same page, because we seem like we're not on the same page.
Understood.
Now we're on the same page. Okay.
Yes, Goon Girl, we talked about it this before when we heard that it was Judge Ascarati. She has been very good.
Excellent. So any other preliminary matters before the jury comes out?
No, Your Honor.
No, ma'am.
Okay, let's go to the jury.
It's just funny because I'm allowed to bring food stuff with me as long as it's made from a retailer and it's in a sealed container. I can put it in my suitcase and take it to you. All cut up. Oh, she's been doing that quite a lot. Remember your mic. Remember your mic. She hasn't said Elaine yet. Why did the witch go commando to get a better grip on her broom? That's a repeat one. You used that one before, Inspire. You have gone through your Rolodex of jokes. I believe you used this on Halloween. Reusing jokes. Pa, pa, pa. Twisted really needs a Victoria's Secret thongs. That was one of her wish list items. Vilu, no. Bad Vilu. Bad Vilu. Oh, and by the way, if I count correctly, the foreskins have to prove to Google by tomorrow that they have sued me. And I haven't received any summons for court. Two guys walk into a bar, the third one ducks.
All right, good morning, ma'am. How are you?
Fine, how are you?
I'm well. Could you please state and spell your full name for the court record?
Okay. Iris Dalley Graff. Iris, I-R-I-S, Dalley, D-A-L-L-E-Y, Graff, G-R-A-F-F.
All right, thank you. Can you tell us about your current occupation and where you're currently employed?
I'm self-employed. My husband and I have a forensic training and consulting business.
What is the name of that business?
Graff Investigative and Forensic Training.
Thank you. How long have you been employed as a forensic analyst?
Basically going back to 1989, not all of it with the same employee.
Can you tell us a little bit about your employment history? Where else have you worked?
Well, in law enforcement, I began in 1989 with the Oklahoma State Bureau of Investigation, where I was a sworn agent for the state. Began in the criminalistics division, people commonly refer to as the crime lab. I did crime scene investigation and forensic serology and microscopy. Trying to think what else. Eventually added to that bloodstain pattern analysis, trajectory and shooting analysis, forensic animation, graphics in analysis, a lot of things. Eventually focusing just as a crime scene agent, where I did just the crime scene investigation, everything associated with that, and without the additional bench work in the laboratory. Left that to be, when I retired from the Bureau after 20 years, then I was a member of another company that's a forensic consulting company until, I believe it was 2016 that we separated, and my husband and I have our own company.
All right. And that company that you worked for after the Bureau, what were your responsibilities there?
Well, in that company, I was one of the founding members of that company, and we did primarily analysis of crime scene information, especially bloodstain pattern analysis and shooting analysis, those kinds of things.
All right. Who were your clients in working for that company?
It was open, it was law enforcement or anyone who was interested, anyone who wanted assistance. So some of the clients were prosecutors, some were defense attorneys, some were individuals who something happened to someone and they wanted an expert opinion. So sometimes it was private individuals. We also did a lot of training, which I still do, and we have open enrollment, so anybody who wants to sign up for a class can. Most of our clientele there are law enforcement, however, have had attorneys, prosecutors, defense attorneys, defense investigators. We had a medical doctor in one, a coroner. So it's open to whoever wants to put forth the effort to be in the course and do the things we require.
Is that the same type of training you provide now through graph investigation and training?
Yes.
All right. Do you teach anywhere else outside of the classes that you teach for your company?
No, my mom went into labor in I think around 2, and I was born around 6:30 because she said that was the only day I was early. Normally I slept in.
Haven't been in recent years, haven't been employed like if.
And I'm not saying anything, but I was an 11-pound baby, so if she shut me out in 4 hours, she really want me out.
You mean like a university or something like that? No.
Okay.
We do that when the state rests.
But you had in the past, is that correct?
In the past, I was an adjunct professor at a university while I was also a public school teacher.
All right. Do you belong to any professional organizations?
Yes.
Which organizations do you belong to?
The International Association of Identification, which is the largest and oldest of the forensic professional organization. The International Association of Bloodstain Pattern Analysts. The Association for Crime Scene Reconstruction. The Rocky Mountain Division of the Bloodstain Pattern Analysis.
And let me ask you, have you held a board position with any of these organizations?
Yes.
And what was that position?
Well, with the International Association of Identification, I was on the Crime Scene Certification Board for a year. With the International Association of Bloodstain Pattern Analysis, I was president for 2 terms. With the Association of Crime Scene Reconstruction, I was the secretary for about a dozen years. I didn't keep track.
Okay, thank you. Have you ever testified as an expert before?
Yes.
All right, and have you testified in Fairfax County as an expert?
Yes, I have.
All right. Can you tell me a little bit about bloodstain pattern analysis and how it fits within what you've described to us as your experience as a forensic analyst?
Well, bloodstains are common in any violent scene. So we look at blood and what blood does. Blood is a fluid, as it is in its natural environment in your body. And as a fluid, we can look at it in terms of the science of fluid dynamics. What do fluids do? That's what blood does. So based on that, we do a lot of experimentation and things to see what blood does on specific surfaces with under specific types of forces applied to the blood. We look at all the characteristics of blood to include how blood moves, how it forms margins along the surface of a pattern, why that margin is formed that way, the consistency of blood and how that changes over time, what happens to blood, especially when it's airborne, and what shape it is in the air, and that because that determines what shape it will be on the target surface, so that when we see a blood stain on a target surface, we can determine, one, whether or not it was airborne, and if it was airborne, then we can determine something about how it formed this pattern and sometimes where it came from. So to identify the general trajectory of the blood from the source. And then, of course, combine that with things like the DNA analysis that tell us something about who the blood could or could not have come from.
So let me stop you there. With an understanding of how blood stain pattern analysis fits into forensics, the education and work experience you've described for us, does that give you the ability to be an expert in blood stain pattern analysis?
Yes.
Okay. Judge, at this time, I would offer Ms. Daly-Graff as an expert in blood stain pattern analysis.
All right, Mr. Carroll, you wish to void you?
Your Honor, actually, I don't have any objection to Chloe's qualification as an expert in blood stain pattern.
I'm sorry. It's just the jury has trouble hearing
I
you.
apologize, Judge. Judge, I don't have an objection to her qualifications as an expert in blood stain pattern analysis.
All right, then so moved as an expert in that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, so back to a little bit more about blood stains. Can you explain to us the different types of blood staining that we might see present at a crime scene? Flow, spatter, transfer. Can you tell us what those are?
Well, there are a lot of different end results of bloodshed, and they can sort of be categorized according to what the final blood stain looks like. But in doing the analysis, I look at all the characteristics of the stain and then see which mechanisms can be excluded. So, for example, as I've already referred to, if blood is airborne, the stains that will be created from that are going to be circular or elliptical. That's because blood in flight
We don't play football in Denmark. We play soccer.
actually breaks into spheres as it leaves the source. Well, a sphere is circular, so if it hits a surface, that stain will be either circular or elliptical, depending on the angle. Then we look at a lot of others. By the way, that is called
Just look at the prosecutor, how boring this testimony is. And poor this lady who is sitting here, she's the only one who's just in the sun ray. Close your eyes. This isn't that important.
spatter, if it's circular and elliptical, and there are various things that will cause that. Another type is contact stains. That is, blood on one surface comes in contact with another surface. We call that a transfer because blood is transferred from one object to the other. And then depending on things like the volume of blood and the texture of the surfaces that come in contact with each other, the shape of the object, then the transfer may be actually a pattern that reflects the original surface. That will be, by the way, will be a surface stain. We also have to look at the surface itself. Is it absorbent? If it's absorbent, then blood as a fluid will diffuse along the fibers. It's called capillary action. So it may be somewhat distorted if it's an absorbent surface. If it's
It's because it's reserved for families. So if you have a big family, the first couple of rows are always reserved for them.
not an absorbent surface, well, then we look at those issues because now you're going to have a different look at the margins in particular. We look at contact stains that happen with motion because if there's motion that pushes blood across the surface, one of the things that does is there's a displaced volume of blood and you end up seeing little, what looks like lines through the pattern. We call those striations. That's an indication of movement. We can look at the overall pattern and see whether or not blood was on the surface and then that blood got moved, that something pushed the blood, or that blood is on.
Don't do that today. Don't do it today.
On a surface and it's under, that is that some of the blood then will be transferred as it's in motion. Again, there will be striations because that's what shows us motion. And then that will have a
Come on.
margin. And so you can see those are a little bit smoother edges, but across the pattern. Sometimes you can tell generally the surface, what the surface was that pushed it onto the transferred surface. Flow is simply blood that's on a surface and it's under gravity. So if a blood drop or a volume of blood is on a non-absorbent surface, then gravity will cause that blood to go downward, whichever way down is. so that if it's on contours, it'll follow the contours, but always going down if it's flow. It will have generally parallel margins, generally a consistent volume of blood across from margin to margin until it gets to a stopping place, basically. That can be because it went down, say, going down a wall and hits the floor. And then you have a little pooling, depending on the volume. You may or may not have pooling, but you can see that it's associated with the flow. There are several types of contact patterns that can happen. So we look at it in the context of the scene. What do we know about the blood that's here? And we look at like the condition of the blood. If sometimes we look at drying times and how, if we know approximately when the blood shed, what does it look like now? Which means you also look at the metadata of the images to determine when was the image created. Is this an aberration of the delayed time in recording the image, or is it something that's actually part of what was originally there, and so forth? So it has to be taken in context of the scene.
Okay, let's, for a moment, talk about cast-off as it pertains to spatter. What does that mean to you?
Well, cast-off is another form of actually spatter. It's circular and elliptical stains. Again, blood in flight will break up into spheres as it travels through the air. And if it comes off of a surface of some moving object, which is where the term cast-off comes from, that some object with blood on it moves, blood comes off in a column, and because of the motion, you see it landing on the surface as a linear distribution. Characteristics you look at in the possibility of cast-off is you're looking for circular elliptical stains with a progressive change in shape, so that if it hits at the surface at 90 degrees, it's going to be circular. If it hits at an angle, then it's going to be more elliptical. So if blood comes off of something that's moving, then you'll see this progressive change from circular to elliptical in some type of a linear distribution. So it can be a straight line or it can be a curved line, but clearly a line. So that would be a way that you look at to identify cast-off.
Okay. Did you have the opportunity to review photographs, video, and objects from the scene of the crime that was created when Christine Banfield and Joseph Ryan were killed?
I did look at documentation specifically in the bedroom and items collected from that bedroom.
Okay. In your analysis, did you have the opportunity to look at the autopsy of Christine Banfield?
Yes, I did.
Okay. And did you make any observations of the 8 knife wounds that she sustained, the 2 cutting wounds, and the 6 stab wounds?
Your Honor, I object.
That's not blood spatter analysis. That's wound recognition. She's not an expert in that field. Yes, the jury is seated NEM.
To the observations from the ME's report.
All right, if you want to approach this. Sure.
Yeah, that's not what she's testified as. That's not what she's qualified as an expert, and that's what he said before the jury came in. If she's only there to testify about blood spatter analysis, not wound analysis, I am perfectly fine with that. And the first thing she does is bring up, look at the wounds. We're 4 days in, and I still can't tell if it's a real hair or toupee. It's real. All of it is real. The lipstick color is the wrong choice, but otherwise I like Dexter's grandma. It's 19 Fahrenheit on Long Island. That sounds cold. It's 32 degrees here. When I went to the dump today because my back is killing me, so I'm kind of doing it in stages, cleaning my house before my daughter comes down here next week, and I had to do the dump thing today, and I had to keep my car running for forever because it was so cold out. Oh, the defendants. I don't think it's a toupee. But he's in prison. Would they get him that in prison? I don't know. But I remember that when you saw that spray on hair back in the day, and it rained off. Yeah.
And Judge, I am going to ask the question a different way if
Okay.
it has the same objection. Ms. Telegraph, when you looked at the autopsy for Christine Banfield, did you have the opportunity to observe the injuries that were documented in the
Yes,
report? Okay. And did that information help to inform your opinion about the blood evidence that you observed in the bedroom through the photographs and documents you were provided?
well, the autopsy report itself doesn't inform me as far as looking at the blood stains, the characteristics of the blood stains, and evaluating possible mechanisms for the blood stains. Another,
So then we'll move on from that. Talking about Joseph Ryan, in review of the autopsy of Joseph Ryan, as well as the photographs from the scene and the officer's body-worn camera videos, did you make any observations of the location of the blood on Joseph Ryan's face?
yes.
Okay. Judge, at this time, I would like to display Commonwealth's Exhibit. Sorry, give me just a moment.
Come on. Come on. Hey, Tammy. Stace. Stace. Bum, 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 bum. You couldn't get your evidence ready before you went to court this morning because you only had 4 days off. Yeah, that's good, Judge Ascarati. Just sigh. Show her. Bum, 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 bum.
Your Honor, if I can have a moment, all of this was ready this morning.
Haven't changed my own tires, but I changed my husband's twin does tire installs for a living, so I let him geek out and do it. Well, you need to know how to change the tire. I was driving home from work one day and
For these HD
the ass end of my car just slipped because the right rear tire had a puncture and I was going around a bend. And that was a fun out in the middle of nowhere. It's Tuesday. Are you jumping on the anime thing and saying every day is a Monday? Because it is Tuesday today. Yesterday was Martin Luther King Day, which was a Monday because it's the first Monday after
All right,
the
Judge, I'd like to
second Tuesday
display
in the month of
Commonwealth's 238
3 weeks or something like that. So you're wrong.
To the witness and to counsel.
What did the banana say to the vibrator? Why are you shaking? She's
And this
going
would
to
be
eat me.
admitted, this would be offered under seal.
I interject at 2:30. It disappeared.
I know, it disappeared because I have to,
All
I
right.
have to be creative here for just a moment.
Objection to 238. Under seal. Yes, that's fine.
think I'm scared of her because I'll probably look like her when I'm older. So goth. I don't think she's goth. I just think she's, yeah. I know how to, but I also have AAA who will do it for me. Yeah, and then you can wait 4 hours in minus 10 degrees. That's probably not as fun. I want a huge snowstorm that all the roads shut down and you're stuck in the house. No, read the text. Jeepers Christ. It's Monday for me. I need all 5 days in my week before the snow this weekend. This is in Virginia.
Ms. Tallygraph, can you see the photograph that we're identifying as Commonwealth 238 on your screen?
I do see a picture on the screen.
Okay, is that a still that you pulled from the officer's body-worn camera?
Yes, it is.
Okay, did you enhance the color in this photo?
I have like one of
I
those
may have
maximum 80 kilometers an hour.
shifted the histogram to
baby
make
wheels.
things more visible. I don't recall specifically, but one of the things because part of what I do is analyze from video as well as from still images, and if things are in shadow, then you can simply shift the histogram to make them a little more visible, which also sometimes increases the contrast.
Okay.
But I didn't add to the color or detract from the color. I simply shifted to make more or less visible, and without seeing the video in its raw format, I couldn't tell you exactly whether any of that is in this particular image.
Okay. I see that there is a shadow on the right-hand side of the photo. If you had adjusted the histograph, would you still see that shadow, or would that have been removed?
Excuse me? I'm sorry.
Well,
All of us are
someone will
talking
just
during
clip
I would
that and
object
call
to
me fat
reading.
if I call
All
it a
right,
donut.
leaving.
Judge, I asked if she had adjusted, would the shadow be removed? It's a yes or no question. It doesn't suggest its answer.
A yes or no question would be leading, correct?
Not if it doesn't suggest the answer.
All right, I'll overrule the objection. Go ahead. You can answer it, ma'am.
Okay.
Do you want me to ask again?
Yeah, because I'm not sure what I've heard was a yes or a no.
Sure. The shadow that we see to the right in this photograph, if you had adjusted the histograph, if I'm saying that correctly, would you still see the shadow?
In adjusting the histogram, some of the shadow, not necessarily all of it, is removed, so that if there was a shadow, say, across the face, then it may be shifted just enough to reveal that without actually taking out all of the shadow.
Okay, but you did not change the color. Did you change the color of the blood in this photo?
I didn't.
Okay. Did you change the color of Mr. Ryan's skin in this photo?
No,
Did you change the positioning of his body in this photo,
no,
or any of the objects around his body?
no.
Okay. Your Honor, at this time, I'd offer the photo into evidence.
Any objection? If you want to approach, again, I need you to use.
I need you to use the microphone. She could just say, Mike, Elaine, microphone, Elaine. Because this guy is just as bad as Elaine Braderhoff with using the microphone. What did the drummer call his two daughters? Anna 1, Anna 2, and Empire, this is a good Christian channel. What's the difference between love, lust, and showing off? Spit, swallow, gargle. Bad, 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 Empire. Well, it's not my
Judge, if we can terminate the display. if you have it.
Where do pirates get their hooks? The second-hand shop.
I'm just going to move on to it later.
At least when everything is going so slow in court, we have you people to make it worse. That's a reused Empire joke as well. Why did Barbie never get pregnant? Because Ken came in a different box. No, that's a Marissa joke. That's a Marissa joke. This morning I woke up to a note from Hubby, be careful if you take a shower or wait for me to get home. Went into the bathroom where he left towels all over my shower stuff
Judge, if I can have,
down low so I can reach it.
what I'd like to have identified as Commonwealth's 170.
Oh yeah, you're being sick all the time.
Displayed to counsel and the witness.
No, it's okay. You can't watch all the shows. It's just Empire is so
All right.
so
let's
jokey
look
that she's
at
reusing her own.
Your figure 16. Embedded is the original photograph and then a photograph that you have made markings on. Is that correct?
Yes,
Okay. Do you recognize that photograph?
yes.
Okay. Judge, at this time, I would offer into evidence as Commonwealth's 170 under seal this item.
Any objection to this?
Yes, Your Honor.
You used that one before too.
I'm happy to
Yeah, if you want to approach, that's fine.
approach.
What does Green Bay Packers and the post office have in common? Neither delivers on a Sunday. Well, at the post office in Denmark will say, "Oh, we're going to deliver it," and then they'll return it because there's hot honey in there. What am I going to use for lube now? What? Jamie, don't say, this is a good channel, Jamie. Don't say stuff like that. That's how I spent Saturday and a Sunday. It's a little better today. The only problem is tomorrow I have to go to Odense and walk around, and I can't really wear a backpack or anything. Then it'll fuck up again. So I hope everything will be fine. Why did the cookie go to the hospital? He was feeling promptly.
All right, Judge, I'd like to cast to the witness and counsel what I would have identified as Commonwealth's 171.
What did the horny toad said? Rub it. Rub it.
Ms. Dallygraph, do you recognize this photo?
Yes,
Okay. Is this the photo that you received from crime scene, specifically Fairfax County detectives, to perform your analysis?
this is one of the photographs that was included.
Okay. I'm going to zoom in and take you over to the lower right-hand corner of the photograph. Are you able to see Mr. Ryan's face in the corner of the photograph?
Yes,
Okay. Judge, at this time, Commonwealth would offer as Commonwealth's 171, the original crime scene photograph, and we would offer that under seal.
Any objection to 171? All right, 171 under seal.
Okay. So can you tell when this picture was taken relative to other pictures that you looked at in
yes,
terms of the progression of events?
yes.
Okay, and when was this picture taken?
What's
should
your
you know?
legal objection?
Foundation.
All right.
Judge, I asked if she could tell when, relative to the other pictures she has received, this photo was taken. I'd like to, I believe her answer is not going to be a time and date. It's going to be, again, relative to what else was occurring at the crime
She
scene.
didn't take the
Explain
photo.
The location that we see here.
I'm going to sustain the objection. Next
Okay,
question.
That's fine.
This prosecutor have had 4 days to prepare for today. First, she agrees not to talk about any wound pattern recognition. That's the first question she asks. Now she wants a witness who just got handed some photos to testify when, in what order the photos was taken. She can't do that. You should have asked the guy who took the photos. Oh. You stop yelling.
What do you see on Mr. Ryan's hand?
I'm sorry, on Mr. Ryan's.
In this photograph, what do you see on Mr. Ryan's hand?
Yes, the right hand is bagged.
Okay, and if I zoom back out, what is he laying on, as best you can tell?
I believe it's,
I'm sorry, Judge, I object. I don't think you can walk it through.
Your legal objection.
My objection is
Speculation.
foundational. It's also leading.
All right.
It's
I'll
also
sustain as to leading.
speculation.
Next question.
Sure. All right, let's just talk about his face.
Yeah, let's talk about his face. What's with his face?
What did you observe about Mr. Ryan's face and the blood on it?
that his blood, I'm sorry, his face is basically covered in blood. In this particular image, I'm looking especially at under the chin because the overall solid, if you will, blood pattern ends at the chin.
Objection, Your Honor. She's going beyond the scope of the question. She's asked, what did you notice about the...
Yeah, I'll overrule that objection. Oh, okay, that's good.
Please continue.
So I see, in addition to the solid covering of blood over the face, that on the chin and down towards the neck, there are flows, multiple flows, and they are not all in the same direction. In particular, I see a flow coming from the heavier stain up on the face, going under the chin and toward the, from the left side towards the right side, and down kind of towards the right shoulder. And that would indicate a direction or an orientation at the time the flow occurred, because flows always go downward. I see some that are coming from the right side. If we go over to kind of in front
That's
of...
non-responsive to the question.
That she's describing her observations of the blood flows. There are several. She's working her way through those
Overruled.
observations.
Overruled, go ahead.
Please continue.
So I see a flow that's coming down from the face that appears relative to the body, pretty much vertical, that is going from just in front of the right ear, basically, and then coming down towards the neck, more to the center of the neck, so that would have been upright at one point. So those are two different directions, but there are multiple flows. And just as a point that only liquid blood flows, dry blood doesn't move. So at the time the blood was wet, that indicates that that portion of the head was in different positions. But each of those separately has to have occurred when that surface was more upright, that is, so that the blood flows down. So the direction of the flow was downward at the time the flow occurred.
Did you make any markings on your figure 16 that highlighted your observations?
I'm sorry, I don't know which is my figure 16.
Sorry.
But
Let me do this, Judge, at this time, if we can remove the photograph from the display. And if I can cast to the witness and to counsel.
2 men broke into a drugstore and stole all the Viagra. The police put out an alert to be on the lookout for 2
Commonwealth's
hardened
170.
criminals. Thank you, Inspire.
Do you recognize this photo?
yes,
Is this your figure 16?
yes,
And are the green markings those that you made
Thank you.
to reference the things that you've just spoken about?
yes, I added the green arrows showing directionality of some of the flows.
All right, Judge, at this time, Commonwealth would offer an evidence as Commonwealth's 170 under seal, figure 16.
All right, I'll sustain the objection.
All right. Judge, is the court's software working to be able to have Ms. Graff draw on the picture in front of
Yes.
her and then have it printed out?
Yes.
All right. Ms. Graff, turning back to what was admitted as Commonwealth's 171. If I can have that published to the jury. Sorry, just one second. It skipped ahead.
I'm sorry, Cookie. I haven't seen Brandon since
Can you mark with your finger on the screen in front of you the
Thursday morning, I think.
location of the blood flow
I hope,
and the
everything's fine.
directionality that you just discussed?
Okay, there are multiple flows. So just to demonstrate, if this works.
He's gonna enjoy it. He's gonna enjoy it free the first.
Sorry, it's very wide mark, and the flow is very narrow. But for one, and then there's that's going from the chin, from the left side of the chin down towards the right. There's a second one that's somewhat parallel to the previous. Then there's from the, what I discussed before, from in front of the right ear going down. There's a couple of them there. There's a couple that are coming from the
Yeah.
right cheek that are going a little bit to the left.
Okay, thank you. Judge, I would like to offer the marked photo into evidence as Commonwealth's 170.
What, I already have a 170. You want to make it 172?
Uh,
Oh, wait, because you had showed a different picture for 170 with the marks already there.
Correct. So can we do that as 170A?
178? Okay.
Thank you.
You have to hit the print there. It's printing.
The fact that they lured the poor man to his
Sorry,
demise so
Judge,
they
there is
could
not a
cover
print button.
It's
his evil
printing.
crime intention
sorry?
so offensive in
Okay.
any way. Yeah.
Should be below you.
Yep. But I would let you know nothing.
Well, Teresa, if you're lucky, this because apparently there will only be 2 witnesses left for the state. So who knows? Maybe we can get to it. I need to draw you something too. Yeah, something needs to happen because this is very boring today. Yeah, that doesn't quite sound like someone who got blood on their face while using a knife on someone else. No, it sounds like someone got pew-pewed in the face and then it ran down their face when they were lying on the floor.
Is happening.
Okay. It takes a couple minutes, so you can go on to your next question.
Okay. All right, so if I can drop the display, please. Kelly, were you able to isolate?
And there's no objection to 170A, is that correct?
Just email it to me.
All right, 170A.
No objection.
Okay, thank you.
She's got a little kitty cat. M-Spire. Bad, bad M-Spire. What did Cinderella do when she got to the ball? She gagged. Oh, the kitty cat started floating. M-Spire is, she shouldn't have days off. She gets a little, oh my.
Yeah, it's still not, it's blinking, but nothing's.
It's blinking. Yeah, today M-Spire's humor is much needed. It's a little raunchy, but
Kelly, is it in the shared drive?
of course he doesn't sleep. He's like me. He's always somewhere. I was lucky enough to be on stream with Cossie this morning. Over on Rat House Media. The place to be in the middle of the night. Hey, Krista, Krista. Now she's going ballista. She is coming in late. But she didn't miss anything because today has been kind of boring. Krista, Krista. Everything is for her, mister. I don't know why I'm singing. Who's Cossie? That's Mr. MC Cossie J. It's the special elective pro sector out of Massachusetts. That's why he's always late filing his motions. It's because he hangs out with Danny and the rest of the Rat House gang. Well, the good thing about Cossie G is he keeps Crazy Amy away, so that's the good thing. Did you draw a little cat over her shoulder? No, I put it on the screen before, but then they moved it. The police suspected that my daughter accidentally burned our house down, but it was arson. Oh, that's not good. I hope nothing bad. Well, something bad did happen, but not that bad happened. Oh, it was our son. Ah, jeepers. At least M-Spire splits it up so I know. Now I just made a fool of myself thinking, oh, that's so horrible. But, oh, let's entertain her today because her house just burned down. And then it was a joke. We like Crazy Amy, though. Do we? I don't know. Megan, my pleasure, and thank you for hanging out with us. I don't think I can draw Mickey Mouse. I'm not that smart, Sue. You should have known that. You've been here for 3 years. You know I don't get jokes. Everyone seems to have been taking their allergy medicine today. Thank goodness. Alfie, when you're right, you're right. Yeah. You have no reason not to like her. Well, you haven't met her. I got, yeah. It's Monday. Come on, everyone. Yeah, it's the most impressive court date so far. I don't know if I love her outfit. She kind of looks like hobo chic. Those hammer pants and then her shirt stuffed down into her belt. She looks a little like she slept in her clothes. It's just amateur hour. Send the jury out, yell at them, tell them to be ready or get out of here. Yeah, I'm not loving it. I know Jemima thinks it's a cool look, but nah. When I saw it at the first glance, I was like, okay, that looks kind of okay, but now
Judge,
just looks
between the printer
disheveled.
and the issue with this additional photo, I might request for 5 minutes
All
to,
right, well, we can go ahead and take our morning recess early. Is
Thank
that what
you.
you'd like to do?
Why can't Miss Pickett count to 70? Because every time she gets to 69, she got a little frog stuck in her throat.
We'll come back at 11:10 then. Ma'am, since you are under, you're testifying now, please don't discuss your testimony with anybody.
It's very
including the
bohemian,
prosecutors at this
yeah.
point, okay? Do you understand?
You said to include prosecutors?
Right, you can't talk to anybody about your testimony now because you're in the middle of your testimony.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. All right.
All rise, please.
terrifying to think that you can be married to a man that does this. This case and the James Craig case out of Colorado, the most diabolical I've heard of recently. I don't know the James Craig case. I think not. But it's one of those where you think, why the hell didn't you just get a divorce? Apparently, he was banging a lot of other people as well. So just get a divorce. But again, those cost money. So could be. I call it vagabond chic. It's in style now. Well, not everything that's in style should be worn in court. What's hot, pink, and wet? A pig in a hot tub. And something else. I never did the hammer time. I can't do that. Yeah, but it never works. That's the problem. They always do this and say, "Oh, I'm the criminal mastermind. I'll fix this. I'll make sure no one figure it out." Now he has no kid, no money, and no future. And sadly, he didn't just rob one life. He robs his kid's life of the mom as well. So it's one of those horrible things where you think, why the hell can't you just move on? I think I've talked about this one before, where I have a lot of people who are prison guards. I know, and they had a guy who came in for unaliving his ex-wife, and they were like, okay, because he was this boring accountant type. But she had invited him over after they split up, and then she had said, okay, let's have a meeting. Let's just come together and have a talk, and figure out what to do. And he came over. They had a dinner, and she said, "Do you want to ride the roller coaster one more time?" And because we men are dumb, he said, "Sure." And as soon as he had done what he needed to do, 12, 13 seconds later, she said, "Ha ha ha, I'm gonna report you for rape because I got your DNA inside me. You're never seeing your daughter again." And he unalived his wife then and there. But that's exactly the same. She wanted to rob her kid of a parent, and then used that way to do it, because how is he to prove he didn't do it? Because it's a he say, she said, and she's going to go to the hospital. You can't tell if the scratches are from a fun time or from a not so fun time. And there's DNA deposits in her. It's going to be really hard to win that case, especially when they have an ongoing custody battle. And I think he got 5-6 years in prison for unaliving her because there was mitigating factors to it. But that's just diabolical that you would do that to your kid's other parent. Oh, have to go back and read that case about that case. Where did it go? Where are you? All comments. Channel activity. And then the James Craig put a hit on the lead detective and asked his daughter to do a hostage video, another case that keeps giving. And the best of James Craig, the day before the trial started, the husband of a defense attorney team, husband and wife, burned down his house with held up in trial insanity. I have to go look at that trial. Oh, I'm going back, that's why. Maybe she's trying the outfit in court to get all of our opinions on it. We should start a poll. Not kidding, really. Well, then we have something to do. You ladies behave today. When I heard in chat of a house burning reminded me of that case trial recently ended. There is a trial going on right now where a guy burned down his own house to try and cover up the murder of his brother because they had been in a business relationship together, and it's out in New Jersey. I think. Who is it who covered it? Because Recovery jumped on. He's on this one as well. I think over the weekend, Recovery Addict covered that case. It's wow. Wow. But yeah, that was a guy who is caught disconnecting his own security camera, and then 5 minutes later, his house catches fire. It just happens. But I was looking at covering that one, and then I chose this one because I thought, hey, smexing a Brazilian. Who doesn't like a nice Brazilian? And so we took this one instead of the other one. And the first day was 4 hours of an accountant going through the business accounting. So I was, I'm fine. I'm fine. I don't need to see that. No, it's wow. It's an exclamation of this is the nicest ever. It's so hot. Don't put the honey buns in a corner. I'm not putting honey buns in a corner. I tried to put them across the tush on a pair of pants in the new shop, but it didn't really work. Yeah, he stabulated his niece and nephew. Yeah, there's a lot of crazy people out there. There's also a new case of a young woman who unalived her sex trafficker and burned her house down. His house down. Oh. Wait, so Brendan hired a guy to come over to F his wife, but really frame him for burglarizing and unaliving her. Sarah, not quite. If you're new to this trial, Brennan and his wife lived together. They had one daughter, I believe it was. Apparently, we haven't heard that in trial, but we've heard that from some news articles. He wasn't really good at being faithful. They have a living nanny from Brazil, and he starts banging the nanny, and at some point on a trip to New York, according to her, he says, I'm gonna get rid of my wife. And she's like, okay, because she doesn't take it seriously. Sure, Jen. And then later he says, well, we're gonna set it up. So we're gonna go on this FedLife website where apparently some of the people in chat are very active. Stay away from the feed stuff. And then they make this fake account of her on her PC. They're actually quite smart about that because that's normally where you'll get caught because you do it from your phone in her name. But they used her computer according to the nanny. They meet this guy, Joseph Ryan, on this website, and they set up, and he's kind of like, could we meet first, have a cup of coffee just to feel it out and see how it is? And she says no, or they say no. He thinks it's she. And they set up that one morning he has to come over and break into the house. She'll leave the door open. She will be sleeping because she's a nurse. She's been at work all night. So no matter what she does, what she says, how much she fights and screams, he just have to go to town on her. She just wanted rough. She wants the full grape experience. And she asked, "Can you bring something to tie me up? Because hey, and I like blood play. Blood play is apparently where you use a stabulator to cut each other and stuff like that." And he's okay because he's a little freaky deaky as well. So he comes over, but it's a setup because the nanny is placed outside in a car. The husband is at a McDonald's. So as soon as Ryan arrives at the house, she calls the husband and says he's here now. They come home. They kind of fuck up because she calls 911 twice before she was supposed to do it. But they claim that they came in and they heard slapping and went upstairs, and he's then stabulating the wife, and they both pew pew him, and then that happens. But the problem is, and this is what we're trying to get to, but they can't make anything work today, is the blood spatter shows that he has no blood from. She was stabbed 3 times in the neck, cut somewhere across the neck, stabbed in the back of her skull so hard that her skull cracked. So that would have left a ton of blood on him if he had done that. But all the blood spatter we've heard about so far is just running blood from. He had a gunshot wound to the head and one to the chest. So they set him up on a kink website, and imagine being that wife. First, you get attacked by a stranger in your home, start screaming, and he thinks, okay, well, she told me to keep going. And then your husband comes in, pew pews him, and you think, oh my God, I'm safe. And then he goes to town on you. That's the worst part for me, is because it wasn't an instant death. It was what did they call it? Almost instant death. So it's been somewhere between 30 seconds and 2 minutes is the time that she passed away. They believed. So she had enough time to realize my husband is doing this to me. Yeah. What wound up happening to the USB case? Was he guilty or not guilty? He was found not guilty. It's absolutely insane for the husband to organize this. You want your wife to unalive while being raped? No, but they needed a guy who had a kink to come over and go too far so they could stop him. That's what they want to do. Big mistake. Always meet your fetish play partners face to face first. Money apparently has a big has a lot of experience in that world. It's like a horror movie. Yeah, it must have been like a horror movie for her. And imagine him standing there thinking, well, I'm just doing what this lady wants, and I'm trying to tie her up because that's what she asked me to do, and was quite insistent on it. And now she's going absolutely cray. Why? And then someone burst in and just pew. The first one went to his head, so even though he didn't instantly, his lights would have been out. Well, my pleasure. That's why you watch it on a channel with commentary, so you can get the updates. Yeah, the other people wanted to meet face to face, so that's why they did. And again, that's one of those things. And again, I'm a virgin, first of all, so I don't know anything about it. But that swinger life where you go to a club, I would. What if it's just all disgusting, weird people? You're sitting there and thinking, then you don't get any smacks, and maybe your wife does. I don't. Well, I know, but she was naked and his pants were open, so did he manage to do that too? And anyway, it's so horrible.
Okay.
Cookie, you missed the part where they said it looked like someone had opened his pants and pulled them up because he had a kind of like a wedgie, and there was no signs on
And Your Honor, just to
any
clarify your
sexual
question, we could
intercourse.
try 170A again.
Okay. That's
He
fine.
actually mentioned it in one of the messages or in the conversation. Who cares about STDs? I just want to make sure this is legit before I come. I don't want an STD. I want to piss fire. Oh. You must have very little hair if this is a hairbrush. Yeah, today has been absolutely horrible. Maybe we should just cut it and come back in 4 hours and we can do it in 10 minutes. Oh, and by the way, congratulations to you for winning something, the corn bowl or something. I don't know, cornflakes bowl. I don't know, but I know that you won something. No, they lost something. Sorry, they lost. Oh, congratulations to the Hoosiers from Indiana that won the corn rake bowl. Yeah, he probably thought, oh, that's good. No, I was told yesterday that the U was playing, but apparently they lost to the Hoosiers. No, it's always the dog that gets hit that barks the loudest. We know what you did. Hoosiers won the national championship. I can't figure out all of this
All right.
Indie Bowl
Next
and
question,
Crimply Bowl
All right,
and whatever
thank
you have.
We're going to try that again.
The Johnny
Ms.
Depp case.
Telegraph. Your Honor, this is Commonwealth's admitted under seal 170. Ms. Telegraph, this is the picture that you drew on just a
No.
moment ago,
I think that's 171, just to let you know for the record. This is
Thank you.
171.
171.
Okay.
Ms. Telegraph, you drew on this photo a moment ago, and we marked that as 170A. We're going to try that again with what appears to be hopefully smaller line on your screen. Can you, reminding the jury what we were talking about, the blood flow on Mr. Ryan's neck, can you identify with the marker on your screen where you see blood flow and in what direction?
There are multiple flows, and if I can show, just going
Did she say fucking?
And in what direction?
there are multiple flows, and if I can show, just going across, beginning on the right side, this will show. So there's downward from the chin towards the neck, and then there's from the chin towards the right shoulder. And then there's downward from sort of in front of the right ear down towards the neck.
All right, thank you. And what did the different direction of the flows indicate to you?
That there were different positions while the blood was wet and flowing.
Thank you. Judge, I would offer the marked photo as new Commonwealth's 170A unless it needs to be marked as B.
No, 178 is.
She's just
fine.
bored like you,
Okay, is it?
ladies.
Is there any objection to that? 178, it's going to replace the other 178. Right, 170A, 170A. All right.
Thank you, and if the clerk could print, I'll pass it up. Thank you. All right. If we can drop the screen. And if we can publish
Was it Vicky
Commonwealth's
who had some experience
241
with the Fed life?
to the witness and
I think she
counsel.
mentioned that.
All right, Ms. Dallygraph, do you recognize this clip from body worn?
Yes.
Okay. Judge, at this time, I would offer into evidence as Commonwealth's 241 under seal.
Any objection?
You approach?
You know I like my girls a little bit older. Da, 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 tonight. That was not the word I thought would be coming out of this nice old lady's mouth. But
All right, 241 is an evidence
Virginia
under seal.
apparently is a freak state.
All right, so looking at this photo, what did you notice about Mr. Ryan's hand position from this body worn camera of Officer Beckner, previously admitted as Commonwealth 6?
In the body cam, we see Mr. Ryan laying supine or on his back with both arms, forearms across his chest, the right hand partially overlaying the left hand.
Okay, and are his hands over the location, well, let me ask you this, did you have a chance to review the shirt that was provided as physical evidence in this case?
I reviewed the images of the shirt in this
Okay.
case.
And did you, in your review of the images, observe a defect in the shirt?
Yes.
Okay, the circular hole, was it a circular hole from the,
Objection leading.
sure.
All right, sustained.
What defect did you observe in the shirt?
There was a defect, a somewhat circular hole through the shirt. It could be located based on looking at the shirt and on there's actually an imprint on the shirt of some individuals, and you can locate it relative to those individuals, and other markings on the shirt helped identify where it was located.
Okay, and did the defect in the shirt line up with any defect in Mr. Ryan's body based on your observation of the photos?
Objection to foundation, Judge.
Overruled. Okay.
Based on comparison of the information from autopsy images at the autopsy and looking at the shirt, the defect in the shirt appeared to be consistent with the location of the defect or the gunshot wound to the chest.
All right, and in this photograph that we have here, this still image from the body-worn camera, Commonwealth's 241, are Mr. Ryan's hands over the defect in the shirt made by the bullet that struck him in the chest?
Well, looking at the image, you can't see any of those figures that I just described as being part of the imprint on the shirt, that the left hand is overlaying that, and therefore it would be overlaying the defect.
Thank you. All right. Judge, if we can remove the image. Ms. Dallygraph, I'm going to ask if
She's
the clerk
slow.
can please display to the witness and to counsel Commonwealth's 172. All right, Ms. Dallygraph, do you recognize this photo?
Yes.
All right, and if I can show the witness Commonwealth's 173. Do you recognize this photo?
Yes.
And going back to 172, Judge, the Commonwealth would offer this into evidence under seal.
Any objection to 172? 172 under seal?
And I would ask that be published to the jury. And we're
Hopefully
going
it'll go
to
faster than the
toggle
direct.
back and forth if we can. I'd offer at this time, Judge, Commonwealth's 173. It need not be sealed.
All right, 173, any objection? All right, 173 in evidence.
And I'd ask that be published to the jury.
In the gallery.
All right, so resting on this photo, what observations did you make of Joseph Ryan's right hand?
That there's transfer blood stain on his right hand.
Okay. Did you notice anything on his arm?
There's also some transfer on his arm, just below the wrist.
And if I can ask you about the palm, what about this contact transfer bloodstain pattern on the right palm did you observe?
The transfer is across the inside of the palm, which would be consistent with the palm being exposed at the time, or the hand being open.
Okay. And if I can toggle back to 172, removed from the gallery view.
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
Well, that was a
Tell
picture.
me what you noticed about the transfer pattern on the outside of the right hand. And I'm sorry, this is the left hand. Nope, this is the right hand. What did you notice about the transfer pattern on the outside of the right hand?
Okay, if I understand, you're talking about the pinky side of the right hand, that there's transfer, it appears to go around the hand, across the back, and around that side of the hand.
Okay,
And it's also on the fingers, and the pinky, the small finger, is basically covered.
okay. What did you notice about the spaces in between the fingers?
That if we look at the first and second fingers, the index finger and the middle finger, you can see a line of demarcation. That is, there's a line that you can see that there's blood on one side and not blood on the other side.
And what does that mean?
That something shielded the blood so that it didn't go on that unstained side, such as if the fingers are simply held together at the time that the blood is deposited, then the blood would not get between the fingers.
Okay, so you're holding your hand up for the jury with your fingers closed together, is that correct?
Yes, with the fingers fairly tight, fairly close together, side by side. So that would obstruct blood from going between the fingers. So if blood is coming across, then it would be on the back of the fingers. But where that skin is in contact would leave this line of demarcation, the place that blood was blocked from going.
Okay, thank you. And again, back to 173, when looking at the palm, do you see those same lines of demarcation? It's helpful to zoom in.
The same lines of demarcation are not visible in this photograph.
All right, and how did you describe the blood transfer to this part of the hand?
It's a transfer, something wet with blood.
Sorry, Your Honor.
Or what's your objection?
I don't think that she's previously described it, and may we approach?
Yes.
Oh. Well, let's look at the poll. The prosecutor's outfit, 85% says she looks homeless. 15% says, wow. 66 votes, 3 missing. She looked like that actress too, but I'm thinking of someone else. Can't remember. That's, yeah. But this is really slow moving today. Really slow. Very important witness for the state, because it proves that it wasn't Joseph Ryan who used the stabulator. But get on with it. I missed her outfit, but it seems more interesting than this at the moment. I'm going back out for more snow removal. It's currently minus 10 degrees. Glad I never sold my snowmobile gear. Oh, that sounds cold. Don't wish any honey bun's birthday before their birthday. No. She doesn't look like Susan Sarandon. That's not who she looks like. Is the Rhea thingy from the Golden Girls? I don't see Susan Sarandon. I think Miss Vicky is behind. Rue McClanahan from the Golden Girls. Is that the little one, Dorothy, or whatever her name was? It's not B. Arthur. No, it's not B. Arthur. B. Arthur was the oldest one of the Golden Girls, right? Oh, you think it's B. Arthur? No. I don't see it. She kind of looks like Cloris Leachman. She kind of looks like that girl from 3 billboards outside of Billings, Missouri, in my mind. I can't remember what her name was. That was a good movie. I haven't seen that in a long time. Wasn't it 3 billboards outside of Billings? More like Cloris than B for sure. Kessima comes in with a one out of left field. She looks like a Smex addict. I don't know where you go looking for your Smex addicts.
Okay, so Ms. Dallygraph, I think we were talking about the contact transfer onto the palm of the hand.
Yes.
Just to reset us, can you describe how that stain was created on the hand?
Some surface wet with blood was in contact with the hand, so that blood transferred from the wet, bloody surface to the hand.
All right, thank you. And Judge, if we can remove the display. And Judge, if you would, supposing the next objection, I would ask this photo be shared with counsel and with the witness.
I'm,
Do
I'm,
you
I like,
recognize this photograph?
I do.
it's a
Okay.
little too
And
college
did you
professor
make
for me.
markings on this
You know, one of
photograph
those
to highlight
college
the
professors.
areas that you just explained to the jury?
I did.
So Judge, rather than having her draw again on the photograph, I would offer this photo as Commonwealth's 174.
Any objection?
Yes, Judge, I do have objection to the markings.
No, I'll sustain the objection.
All right, then we'll go back to Commonwealth's 172. If you could, mark on your screen where you observe the voids on Mr. Ryan's fingers.
Okay. The lines of demarcation and the portion that's not bloodstained would be where there was a blockage between the fingers.
All right, Judge, I would offer this marked photo into evidence as 174A.
Under seal.
Yes, please.
Any objection?
No objection to that,
All
Your
right,
Honor.
under seal, 174A.
And Judge, if we can take that down. Commonwealth's 173. Previously admitted, if we can have that published. Ms. Dallygraph, on this photograph, can you indicate where you see transfer of bloodstain on the arm,
On the
wrist?
on the right arm, in the area inside the green marks.
And Judge, I would offer the marked photo as Commonwealth's 174B.
All right, any objection?
No objection.
174B.
And that does not need to be under seal.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so if we can take that down. And Judge, I'd ask that Commonwealth's 175 be shared with the witness and with counsel. Ma'am, do you recognize this photo?
Yes,
All right, and is this Joe Ryan's left hand?
yes.
Okay, what observations did you make of the
And you will
blood
miss
stains
nothing.
on his left hand?
That he has primarily transfer
you're so far behind.
across the back of his left hand with some volume so that there's associated flow.
All right. Did you make note of a line of demarcation?
Yes,
Okay, and where is that?
Do you wish to offer this in evidence?
I'm sorry, yes, Your Honor, I apologize. I'd offer an evidence, Commonwealth's 175.
Any objection to 175?
No objection.
All right, 175 in evidence.
All right, and if that can be published.
All right.
All right, so you know what, before you mark, let's talk about the rest of the hand so we can see it clearly. What other observations did you make of the blood stains on Mr. Ryan's left hand?
well, there's also transfer on his left thumb and sort of laterally, just below the left wrist. And also note that there's some volume to include what appears to be blood clots on the transfer.
Okay, and can you now mark on Commonwealth's 175 the line of demarcation and the transfer that you just mentioned?
Transfer across the left, back of the left hand, from the green line towards the fingers would be areas of transfer, flow towards from that area towards the wrist, then another transfer just below the left wrist, transfer on the left thumb, another small transfer on the outside of the left thumb.
Okay. Were you, in your review of the photographs in this case, able to determine if anything lined up with the void on Mr. Ryan's hand?
Judge, I'm going to object. I think that just the question itself goes to what we've talked about.
I'll sustain the
Okay,
objection.
That's fine.
Next question?
So tell us, much as you did with the right hand, how did this blood come to be on Mr. Ryan's left hand?
Some object wet with blood was in contact with the back of his left hand.
All right, thank you.
I don't know. It looked like some implement to lift, hold, do something with restrain. And Stace, I'm gonna save this one for tomorrow as well, because it's bad luck to wish a Dane happy birthday before it is their birthday. So it'll go into the birthday salutations for tomorrow. It's almost like people don't listen to me when I say it's tomorrow. It's right up there. Right up there. But thank you so much. I will use it to buy a train ticket to go to Odense tomorrow. I
Also,
went
looking
outside
at
and looked.
this
I didn't see
photo,
any.
Did you make any note of the
But I live in a
blood
city, so
stains on or around Mr. Ryan's
Lot of-
jeans?
light pollution.
Yes,
What did you note?
that there are, excuse me, some contact stains or transfer stains on the jeans in various locations.
All right. Can you identify where you noticed those blood stains on the jeans?
There's a transfer on the left front of the jeans. There's a transfer on the inside of the jeans waistband at the buttonhole.
Thank you. Did you review the certificates of laboratory analysis submitted in this case?
I did.
And whose DNA profile was present in the swabs of the blood from Joe Ryan's hands?
I believe there was a DNA profile from both Christine Banfield and Joseph Ryan.
All right. Judge, at this time, Commonwealth would offer Commonwealth's 175A as the marked item.
All right, any objection?
No objection.
All right, 175A.
All right, so looking back, and Judge, if we can drop video.
Yeah, last night was actually pretty clear here, but I think the light pollution took it. I know that
Did you
That
have the
was
opportunity
pictures
to fully review
west of me.
Officer Beckner's body-worn
didn't
camera?
see it here.
I reviewed several body-worn cameras. I don't recall who was wearing which camera. I would have,
The rumor is they have two witnesses, so this one and one more left. So potentially resting today. If they could just ask a question, we could have been done before lunch.
to look that up in the record.
Okay, but if we can go back to Commonwealth 241 and have that published to the witness and counsel and the jury, it was under seal.
Yes, ma'am.
This is the still image that we were referencing before from Officer Beckner's body worn previously as admitted as Commonwealth 6. In your review of the video, did you observe the police officers at the scene to move Mr. Ryan's arms?
I did see that in a body cam video.
Okay. Did you observe those officers to touch Mr. Ryan's arm?
All right, I'll sustain as to leading.
Okay. I'm going to move on.
This is 125, and it's still glacially paced.
All right, so looking at previously admitted Commonwealth's 123.
Hey, MJ.
And Judge, this was admitted under seal. If I can have it published to
Yes, ma'am.
the jury, the witness, and Mr. Carroll, and counsel on the left. Drawing your attention to Mr. Ryan's arm. Did you make any observations of the blood patterns on his left forearm?
Yes.
Okay, what did you observe?
I observed what appears to be small blood droplets on his arm in a somewhat linear distribution. Also observed transfer stains on his arm, in particularly 4 transfer stains that are roughly parallel to each other.
All right, so let's talk about them one at a time. Let's talk about the blood drops that you observed. Can you circle or highlight those items on your screen?
You're welcome first.
Sorry about that. Okay. And how are those blood droplets formed?
These would be blood drops falling from somewhere above. Again, blood drops falling or under gravity takes them down, and when they're circular, would mean that the blood is dropping straight down. So if
I was planning on making homemade pizza, but then I forgot to put buy cheese, so it's just going to be some reheated something from the freezer I luckily had.
it makes a circular stain, that surface was fairly horizontal at the time
Well, that doesn't
the
work
blood
either.
drops were deposited.
Okay, if the blood had
That one.
been coming at him from an angle, what shape would they have taken?
But if it's coming at an angle, then that sphere in air would translate to an elliptical shape on the surface.
Okay. Judge, I would ask to print and admit this photo as Commonwealth's 170. Well, this, you want to do 123A and? That's fine, whatever you want. Nope, that's fine, 123A, keeps it clean. Yes, please.
Any objection?
Okay.
123A.
And if we could clear the markings, I can do it if you want, or I don't know if you, okay. All right. You spoke of a transfer pattern on the arm. Where do you see that transfer pattern? All right. Judge, if I can have this marked as Commonwealth's 123B and printed?
Hey, Skyview.
Okay, be under seal.
Thank you.
Blood spatter,
All right, and then I'm going to
Projection.
take it to a different angle if I can remove
but
the
it's so
display, please.
slow. Yeah, but I'm too cheap to
If we
get it delivered.
can share Commonwealth's
and normally they don't deliver
previously
unless you
admitted
buy 2
101
pizzas.
with the witness,
And I don't need 2
the
pizzas.
jury, and I do not believe this was under seal, Judge, but I'll defer to the court.
101 is under seal.
Okay, then this remains under seal. Ms. Telegraph, if I zoom in a little bit, we've got another angle here. Can you again highlight the transfer pattern
I'm
that you
sorry.
observed?
Can we DoorDash some Colombian
Okay,
product?
thank you,
because
and I would offer that
This is
marked
slow.
photo as Commonwealth's 101A under seal.
Any objection?
Yeah, an Adderall.
The markings around.
Helen Mirren?
Specified to.
Turn on your microphone. Turn on the microphone.
Okay, I just want to make sure there's no other connotation given to the way that was
Because I'm
drawn.
too cheap.
And-
I can just
and
drive over and
Having
get
a
them.
circle would probably be
I understand that's what she did.
okay,
I think we talked to her across the examination about it. If you have a version that you look at, what she marks.
okay.
I
Thank
know
you.
we're not kink shaming on this channel, but
No objection.
Zach, you're weird.
Are you able to tell us whether or not the transfer pattern was made at the same time as the drip marks?
Objection, Your Honor. Foundation.
Based on your training and experience, are you able to discern anything about the markings in this photograph that would enable you to gauge whether or not they occurred at the same time?
To determine sequencing, you need to look very closely at individual photographs of this area, multiple photographs of this area, looking to see if we can see actual one stain on top of the other. If we can make that determination, then you know that the one that's on the bottom has to have happened before the one on the top. So in this case, I don't think that I was able to actually pinpoint where one was on top of the other. They happen at different times. They're different mechanisms. Nothing here indicates that they were simultaneous. They may have been very close together in time. I don't know. But if you don't have those specific characteristics to point to, then you don't determine sequencing.
All right, thank you. If we can pull this photo down. Judge, I'd like to have 181 displayed to the witness and counsel. Do you recognize this photograph?
Yes?
Judge, I would offer 181 under seal.
Any objection?
Boo!
No objection.
Apparently
All right,
getting scared.
181
helps.
under seal.
And I apologize for bouncing all around in the number.
In Denmark, we have this teen rom-com that was a book where a young guy. I'm going to talk for a bit because then I can speed it up even more because this is slower than molasses. This is slower than Zach trying to have a thought. We have this rom-com that's called Kiss Me. No, Love by the First Hiccup. And this guy, Victor, is really into this girl, Anya. And she's a little bit older. And he's at a party, and then he gets the hiccups. And this Anya chick, they try all the things where they hold him upside down and make him drink a beer to try and see if that works. And it doesn't work any of the good old remedies. Most Danish remedies is drinking beer. And then she says, I'll give you a kiss if you hick one more time. And he can't hick. His hiccup stops. He can't hick. That sounds like Sue's family parties. Oh, you can't be a hick here. Well, then no one's coming. But that's a way to fix it. So become a guy called Victor, go to a party in Denmark and meet a girl called Anya, and then make her ask you for a kiss. No, make her say she's going to kiss you if you do a hiccup. It'll work all the time. So do that one. Fully breathe out, then hold your breath as long as you can. It usually helps to get rid of the excess air. Careful what advice you take. I once couldn't get rid of them and used everyone's guaranteed methods, and I ended up throwing up because of it, and hiccups were still there. Oh, puking and hiccups? Yeah. Put a spoon in a glass of water. Try drinking the water very slowly while trying to avoid the spoon. I still think that you should change your gender and meet a girl called Anya. And in that movie, there was a boob. There was actually 2 boobs. That was a lot for a Danish rom-com back in the day. I hold my breath in my throat. Everyone has something. Perform mouth hugs. Money, don't dox people. Or drink out of a glass upside down. Yeah, at least you'll be Miss Wet T-shirt after that. I start singing when I have them. Generally, they go away or I forget about them. Nine gulps of water without breathing. You can do it upside down. I personally have to throw up because I don't know how to burp. It's really easy. Just do it like that.
All right. Ms. Telegraph, I've zoomed in, and I'd like to have this published now to the jury. This is another view of those same transfer stains, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. What can you tell me about what is happening on the
I don't see
interior
many
of the
boobs.
arm at the
That's
base
why.
of those stains?
There is a flow pattern on the interior of the arm. It extends from the transfer pattern, what would be up the arm, that is towards the elbow, and then terminates in one stain.
All right. Can you tell me about how the blood moved down the arm to create that stain?
It appears that excess volume of blood was in the transfer.
Excuse me, hold on.
I'd object. I think that's exceeding the scope of what blood spatter analysis that we
You
discussed.
want to, okay.
Bum chicka bum.
The blood that you transfer. Okay, let's try again. The blood that you see from the transfer, how does that come to be or to connect to the blood that we see on the interior of the forearm?
The excess volume in the transfer was flowing what would have been downward at the time and sort of toward the inner aspect of the forearm. And when a liquid drop meets a liquid drop, they merge, and then they all flow together. And this only goes a short distance, you can see, where it terminates on
Why?
the inside of the arm.
What would have limited its distance?
We have seen quite a
limited
few
volume, for
body
one.
photos today.
It's probably no more than just a really small volume from each of those transfers, just enough that it's fluid enough to flow, and as they merge together, then continue together in one flow. The blood loses energy, partly because it's leaving volume behind. There may have been more resistance on the surface at this point. The change in position, that it flows here, and now you change position, so it stops because it's no longer downward.
All right, and that takes me to my next question. Tell me what you would be able to say about the position of the arm when the blood was flowing based on gravity.
Well, flow, again, is always in the direction of gravity or downward, so that means that the forearm was in some raised position, so that downward would be towards the elbow instead of towards the wrist.
Thank you. Is it possible that that flow led to the transfer?
Objection, Your Honor. It's leading.
Overruled, I lied.
Well, flow doesn't become transfer. If it's flow, it's going to keep going in the direction of gravity until it loses volume or something causes it to stop. It doesn't separate. That is, blood has cohesive properties, has surface tension that holds the fluid together, which is partly why, that's part of the reason why blood in flight is a sphere. It's pulling together. So you would need something to break those forces to cause part of the flow to go one direction and part another direction. And there's nothing here that would do that. That's not what flows do on their own. They just go with gravity. And you see that if you have a flow going one direction and you turn that surface, the flow doesn't separate into separate flows. The whole thing, one flow can make a corner, but that corner would be an indication that the thing was oriented so that what was down is now a different direction.
Thank you. Judge, if we can take down a picture.
Yes, ma'am.
I can have you take a look at Commonwealth's previously admitted 100, which was admitted under seal.
Don't, his head
Do
is
you
big
recognize
enough.
this photo?
Yes.
Okay, Judge, at this time I would have it published to the jury.
It is.
Thank you. All right, what observations did you make in conjunction with your reading of Commonwealth's admitted 151, the lab from DLI, about Mr. Ryan's pants and any blood stains observed there?
My recollection of the analysis was that both profiles, DNA profiles from Christine Banfield and DNA profiles from Joseph Ryan were found in stains on the jeans.
All right, let's talk about them one by one. Specifically, did you examine the area in the photo of the button and the zipper?
There was a sampling from that area that I read the DNA analysis report for that sample.
Okay, and that sample of blood, were you able to determine if it was a flow, spatter, or transfer?
The stains on the area of the button and the buttonhole were contact stains or transfers.
All right. Looking at, if I may advance to Commonwealth's previously admitted 101. Slightly better angle. Did you make observations of other bloodstain patterns now on the leg of the jeans?
Yes.
All right, tell me about your observations on his right leg pant, right pant leg.
Well, there are several bloodstain patterns or blood stains on the right leg. In particular, there's a stain pattern of somewhat parallel transfers that are finger-like in shape.
And can you mark on 101 where you've made that observation or which transfers you're referencing? Okay. And in your review of what was previously admitted as Commonwealth's 168, the certificate of laboratory analysis from Bodie, was there a mixture of DNA found in that blood?
My recollection is that this is another area where both profiles were found in the stain that was sampled in this area.
Kasi G was here earlier.
And you say both profiles of,
The profile from Christine Banfield and the DNA profile from Joseph Ryan.
okay.
Kasi G is a grown man. He can handle himself.
And again, could these stains be cast off or spatter?
Ah, Zach, I just
No.
ignored you.
Could they
I know
be
you were
falling
trying,
blood?
but
No.
I didn't want to go there.
I'm going to move on to,
Did you want that in evidence?
yes, please, if we could have that printed, and I would offer it as Commonwealth's 101A,
I already
Holly
have
Mack is a little
101A.
behind.
101B.
101B under seal.
No, that's not true. I block people who
No objection, okay. 101B under seal.
does
All right.
bad stuff.
If we can take that down. And if I can have Commonwealth's 222 shared with the witness and with counsel.
Good question, Alfie.
All right, do you recognize this photo?
Yes.
And did you examine Mr. Ryan's, this photo of Mr. Ryan's hip?
Yes.
Okay. Judge, at this time, I would offer the item into evidence as Commonwealth's 222.
All right, any objection? All right, 222 in evidence, not under seal, correct?
Not under seal.
Okay, 222.
All right, so this angle is a little tricky, but tell me what you observed about the blood stains on Mr. Ryan's hip.
There are multiple circular and elliptical stains, most of them fairly small.
Well, if you push me
that
far
are
enough, I will.
on the front and the left, the side of the left hip.
All right, let's see if we can zoom in a little bit more. This larger stain that is now in the middle of the photo for reference, tell me what you observe about that stain.
This is a larger stain. It appears to have some satellites, that is secondary blood drops. So when wet blood hits the surface, it can form droplets out of that volume, and it's called satellites, secondary stains. And they appear to be possibly a little flow associated with it, and that flow, as you're looking at it, would be from front to back.
All right, so again, using gravity as our rule, what position was the body in when that stain struck the hip?
I would object, based on this photo.
Sorry.
I would object to scientific foundation in order to even, that we have some sort of scientific foundation before.
Foundation is your objection?
Yes.
All right, so if you want to lay a foundation.
Sure. To your knowledge, how does gravity work?
Some of them have been
Gravity is a
shown.
magnetic pull towards
have
the
seen
center of
3
the Earth,
today.
and it causes things to, under the force of gravity, to move toward the center of the Earth or down.
He wasn't, he was pew-pew.
Okay. And the blood that we see in this picture, in what direction did it flow?
The small flows that appear to emanate from the larger are
No,
front to
There's
back
no,
in reference to the body,
I can-
and here going towards the floor.
All right, and so
if you need it, I'll Court TV normally has the closed captions turned on. Yeah,
would the body have been
you
relative to
go.
the earth when the blood struck the body and flowed?
That his left hip was exposed when the wet blood contacted the skin and flowed towards the back or towards the floor.
Thank you. Let's zoom back out just a little bit. Looking at these droplets of blood, what can you tell me about that pattern?
There are small circular to elliptical stains which indicate blood was in flight when the blood made contact with this part of his skin.
All right, thank you.
Well, he's been doing it consistently, and
So
she
let's
tells him
move
every
on
day.
then to what was previously admitted as Commonwealth's 133. All right, if I can have that displayed to the witness and counsel.
It's already been.
And it's admitted, so to the jury as well,
In the
please.
gallery, thank you.
Thank you, and the gallery. All right, Ms. Dallygraph, tell me about the blood stains that we observe on Mr. Banfield's jeans, previously admitted Commonwealth's 133.
If we're looking at generally the area of the knees, that there are multiple contact stains.
All right, were you able to determine whether or not those contact stains, strike that, let me rephrase. Did you have the opportunity to watch, as you've said before, the body-worn camera, specifically any portion where first responders are entering the room?
Yes,
Okay, and did you observe Mr. Banfield's position on that body-worn camera when first responders entered the room?
when first officers entered the bedroom, yes.
Okay. Was his position consistent with the transfer patterns that you see on the knees of the jeans?
In the,
Turn on your mic, Elaine.
There has to be more in order to be able to arrive at the conclusion that she's asking for, not just looking at the body cam.
You want to approach for a second?
That's why you need to have Jamie as a boss. She'll be a pain in your butt for you. Even the defendant is bored of his own crime. Yeah, this is absolutely the worst ever. One thing is that these a-holes don't know what they're asking. The second thing is all of these interruptions, and in the end, it's not the blood spatter that's going to get him convicted. It's the au pair, because I don't think they can mitigate the disaster that was. Never.
I'm trying.
La, da, 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 da.
All right, so at the knees, we have transfer stains, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. Zooming in, tell me about these stains on the left of our screen that appear different.
Yes, there's linear distributions of circular and elliptical stains. This would be on the jeans above the knee, going up to pretty much the top of the jeans.
Okay, and again, remind us how elliptical stains come to be.
Elliptical stains occur when the sphere of blood traveling through the air comes in contact with the surface at an angle so that the circular shape of the sphere translates into an elliptical shape on the surface.
Thank you. Judge, if we can take this down
All right.
and move to Commonwealth's 135. If I can have this published, this is Commonwealth's previously admitted 135.
All right.
Is this a close-up on those stains?
This is a close-up of some of those stains.
Some of, that's fair. All right. And if I can have the court's indulgence, pull this down for just 1 second.
No, you can't have the court's indulgence because you have wasted roughly an hour of the 2 hours court has been going this morning by doing nothing. Yeah, she was.
If I can show you Commonwealth's
out
previously admitted
of her own league.
186 and have that published.
I don't have a 186 in evidence.
All right, Commonwealth would offer 186 into evidence.
Any objection to 186?
No, you're.
All right, 186 in evidence.
All right, so here we have the same genes in a manner that Detective Leach photographed them to allow us to see the blood more closely. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, so if you can describe your opinion or share with us your opinion about the blood spatter that we see on the left.
There are linear distributions of small circular elliptical stains. They're actually from about the knee to the crotch, and just bracketed to show that general area.
All right, and are those stains cast off?
These stains could be cast off. They're
Maniacal.
consistent with cast off. We see some progressive change in shape looking across some of the lines. So cast off cannot be excluded as a mechanism to produce these stains.
Not really. They talked a little bit about it with the nanny when she was there, the au pair, and she was just talking about how they set it up. They didn't talk about really what FedLife is or anything. So, but allegedly there is a letter out there that an anonymous letter sent from New York from one of the only New York post offices that doesn't have video surveillance, and that described how Christine was a big user of FedLife and she was quite kinky, and this person had personal knowledge of how Christine would do all of this. I don't think that letter has been allowed in. Maybe the defense will try and argue that when it's their turn, but that came in right after he had been arrested. All of a sudden, there was an anonymous letter sent from New York from a post office with no surveillance saying that, oh, Christine was such a kink that she was on FedLife all the time and wanted to be. But I've only heard reports of it. There's nothing out there where we can see the letter. And but it's going to be interesting to see if they're going to put it out there.
Thank you.
There should be 2 witnesses today. And this is
And
first.
were you able to review the certificate of laboratory analysis that was
semen.
admitted in this case, identifying the DNA contribution to those stains?
Yes,
And do you recall whose DNA was found to be in those stains?
the DNA profile of Christine Banfield was found in this area.
Thank you. All right, Judge, if we can pull that down. Judge, at this time, I would offer into evidence as Commonwealth's 187.
Any objection to 187?
No objection.
All right, 187 in evidence.
All right. Ms. Dallygraph, from 187, were you able to make any observations about Mr. Banfield's shoes?
Yes.
And I'm going to ask counsel to take a look if we can pull this down.
Oh my. Oh my. I hope it wasn't feet stuff.
We can display Commonwealth's 188 to counsel and the witness. Is this a photograph that you
I'll
pulled
stream all day.
from Commonwealth's 187 to highlight the bloodstains that you analyzed?
Yes, this actually shows parts of 2 different photographs, but I took out the background to focus
Well,
on
the
just
witness will
the
be an
shoes
hour,
and the
but she
stains on
will-
the shoes.
All right, Judge, at this time, the Commonwealth would offer as Commonwealth's 188.
Any
this
objection?
photograph,
No objection.
188 in evidence.
and we'd ask that it be published to the jury in the gallery. All right, tell me about the staining that you observed on Mr. Banfield's shoes.
Well, on the right shoe, where you see the one closest is the right shoe, and then the one we're looking down at the toe area of the right shoe, there are circular stains, particularly up close to where the shoelace loops. You can see a circular stain moving out into the toe, a circular stain. On the side of the right shoe, there's a larger stain that can't be determined. It could be just a contact with something wet with blood, or it could be merging where if it's blood falling there on the side, then as it traveled in the fabric actually made one larger stain. So the mechanism cannot be determined. The left shoe appears to be a transfer from some area of wet blood.
No, the opening statement was, don't trust the nanny, and the nanny did it. It seems more like they are trying to go away from murder 1 and get murder 2 or something like that. That's the general idea I've gotten from him. Hypnotist community is a little odd. Oh my.
Is the blood stain or the blood stains on the right shoe, is that consistent with transfer? Or could it be consistent with transfer?
I still have to find someone who will get their bits and bobs out. Boobs Bob's and vagine. Remember, Marissa will curate them and figure out which one I have to look at.
Well, there are in particular two that are very circular. So when I do the analysis, I look at all of the pictures, all of the images in context to see if I could identify, if this is transfer, then there should be a circular area somewhere of that approximate size and shape to see if I can exclude transfer, because this does appear to be a somewhat absorbent surface. I didn't find anything, so it appears more that it's falling blood, because falling blood will make a circular stain.
For me,
Thank you. And did you make any observations from your review of the body-worn camera of Mr. Banfield's hands following the entry of law enforcement into the room?
Yes,
What did you notice about his hands?
both hands were blood covered.
All right. I can show you what has been previously admitted as Commonwealth's 112 and 113. We'll start with 112.
no, do that because
right.
there's enough weirdos out there. I'm just not paying those $20 a
So-
month.
In your review of the bloodstains found on the carpet, did you make any observations regarding these stains found between the bed and the basket?
Yes.
Okay, and what were your observations?
Well, there are multiple blood stains between the bed and the basket. Some of those appear to be saturation, where a lot of blood absorbed into the surface. Some appear to be simply transfer, that is something that was very wet with blood is in contact with the surface. Others are much smaller stains. They appear to be circular to elliptical in shape.
Okay,
Not-
let's start with this photo. Let's take it little bit by little bit. Identifying this stain here at the bottom of the photo, irregular in shape, what type of stain is that?
It appears to be both transfer and saturation.
Okay. Were you able to identify anything that might have matched with the shape and pattern
Thank you
of
so
that
much,
stain to
Selfish.
have created the
Let's see if
transfer?
that gets you.
I could not determine what transferred that particular pattern.
Okay, were there any objects that you observed in any of the photos nearby that were also saturated with blood?
Yes.
Okay, what did you observe?
Well, in particular, there was bedding that was over this area when officers first arrived, and some of that had a fairly heavy amount or large areas of saturation within that bedding that was sort of crumpled or on the floor above this area.
Okay, let's turn to look at the dots of blood here closer to the laundry basket. What can you tell us about that staining?
No,
That from this image, there, no particular dispersion or irregular dispersion, but there are very small blood stains in the area, especially as you're approaching up to the laundry basket.
Okay,
Diane G.
and from your review of the certificates of analysis, was Joseph Ryan's DNA present in that tested area?
Yes,
Okay. If I can pull this down for just a moment. I'm going to ask Commonwealth 191 be shared with counsel and the witness.
can we just be done by lunch with this lady?
Do you recognize this photo?
yes.
Okay. And the yellow circles on the photo, how did they come to be?
I put the circles on the photo.
Okay. Judge, at this time, the Commonwealth would offer this into evidence as Commonwealth 191.
I'd object to the markings, Judge.
All right, I'll sustain the objection.
All right. If I can have this pulled down, please. All right, directing your attention then to Commonwealth's previously admitted 113. Do you recognize this photo?
Yes,
All right, and just for orientation, is this the bed frame that we have on the right of the screen?
yes, that would be the sideboard of the bed frame.
Okay. Tell me about the large blood stain that we have. Tell me about the large blood stain that we have here. And Judge, I'm sorry if I did not ask that this be published.
It is published.
Okay, thank you. Tell me about that large saturation stain.
Overall, it's an indication of volume of blood that's on on the surface, and I certainly would want to look under that area to see how much volume might be there. It also has, especially on the margins, you're looking to the right side, you can see the outlines or the shape that is fairly circular in a linear distribution.
Right.
Looking at the photograph going from the top down towards the bottom, you see these, there appear to be individual circular stains.
Okay, can you, as best you can, using the screen, identify the linear pattern that you see? Okay, and can you draw perhaps either an arrow toward or a circle around the circular stains that you see? I'm afraid the circle around may end up too large, but
Yeah.
let's give it a try.
So the width of the line makes it
I know, thank you.
kind of obliterate the circle underneath.
All right, thank you. And again, what is it that the nature of the circular stains mean to you?
Taken together with the volume, that this appears to be where a volume of blood was projected, blood drops traveling through the air, and some of those droplets fell from that trajectory down to the surface of the, in this case, the carpet. So that creates the linear portion of it in association with the volume that you see immediately to the left of that the same thing is happening there. Droplets falling on top of droplets creates a volume on an absorbent surface, a saturation. All of that is consistent with what's called a projected pattern, where a volume of blood pushed through the air, then the droplets fall, and they fall on
I'd
top of
go
each
way
other,
better than
creating
that.
this larger overall pattern.
Thank you. If we can pull this down, please.
You don't want to print that?
Oh, yes, I'm sorry.
Yeah, put it back.
If we could print, and I would offer it as 113A.
Okay. I think it's
It
off
moves.
on the side.
Hold on, I can make it happen. Or not.
Okay.
Okay.
And any objection to 113A?
No.
113A evidence.
All right. Are we good? Okay, just wait.
You're fine.
Okay, thank you. All right.
That's the stabulator that he brought with him.
All right, if I can share Commonwealth's previously admitted 111. All right. For location purposes, Commonwealth's 113 was a close-up of which area of the staining that we see here?
It's approximately parallel to the sideboard.
All right, can you make a mark, just perhaps a dot on the screen for that stain?
I'm sorry, the previous pattern is what I just marked.
Oh, thank you. I can't see it on mine. All right, and so looking at the area of blood below that stain, what can you tell me about those markings?
Well, looking on the photograph, looking below the area that I just marked, there's at least two areas of concentration that are, as you're looking at the photograph, just below and another just to the left. These are somewhat overlaying. They indicate, there's an indication of volume. These are not, it's not just single falling blood. It's definitely not cast off or impact spatter. It's not flow. It's just areas of concentration and saturation.
And can you perhaps just put a dot in the centers of those two concentrated areas? Okay, thank you. So in the perimeter around those concentrated areas, what observations did you make of the staining?
But if I understand, we're talking about going around that general area. Again, there's multiple things that could move some of the blood in that area. Some of it could be transfer, that is something that's very wet with blood, could be on the surface, possibly moved from one place to the other or moving on the surface, I can't really tell. There appears to be multiple things happening, it's just, I can't identify just one and only one action in that location.
Okay, well, let me ask this. If you were to draw a perimeter around the outermost edges of the blood staining that we see on the left, would the entirety of the blood contained within that perimeter be saturation?
It's not all saturation, doesn't
Okay.
appear to be.
What else does it appear to be?
Well, again, some of it could be transfer,
Okay.
like something very bloody, either being moved in different location or moved on the carpet, either one. So it's not an even distribution through that whole area.
Okay. And looking at the blood stain now to the right of the photograph, what can you tell us about that stain?
That there is saturation there, there is some transfer there. There is what might be some spatter up as you're looking at the general area. There's some smaller stains at least up just above and slightly to the right of center of the larger bloodstain area in front of that chest of drawers.
Thank you. And Judge, if I can have this printed and offered into evidence as 111A.
Any objection? 111A.
Let me know when I can pull it down.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. All right, Judge, if I can offer, well, if I can ask first that Commonwealth 219 be shared with the witness and with counsel. And Judge, at this time, I would offer Commonwealth 219 into evidence.
Any objection?
Oh.
Yes, so that's the marking, so I'll sustain the objection.
All right.
That'd be under C.
Mange tak, Crazy Amy, og vi er også så heldige, vi har dig. Du er sådan en fantastisk del af det her
Judge, at this
online
time,
community, at vi bare alle sammen bliver nødt
Commonwealth
til at sige
221 be shared with the witness and with counsel.
tommel op, fordi ikke nok med, at du kommer ind og giver mig sådan en dejlig personlig besked, du også bare så søger at gøre det i dansk. Mange tak.
All right,
Mange
Ms.
tak. Mange tak.
Dallygraph, do you recognize this photo?
Yes.
All right. This time, Commonwealth would offer 221
This is
in
live.
evidence under seal.
Any objection? All right, 221 in evidence under seal.
All right, Ms. Dallygraph, we've got now another angle of the blood on the carpet that we've talked about. Can you identify
It's
for us
tomorrow.
the droplets that you previously testified to having come from Joe Ryan on the carpet near the laundry basket?
Well, there's an area that, on the carpet that has
Or the
smaller
bucket.
circular and elliptical stains between the bed and the basket.
Thank you. And then did you also observe any blood stains on the wall?
Yes.
All right, and can you circle where those stains were observed to be?
Sorry, the marking covers up.
It's okay, we're gonna zoom in on it in just a moment. Judge, I would offer this as Commonwealth's 221A. I'm sorry, this is 221?
Yes, 221A.
And now 221A with the markings, please.
Any objection? 221A under seal. Okay.
me know when I can pull it down. Thank you.
Yes, you're fine.
Did someone just fart?
I can ask to share with the witness and with counsel. Commonwealth's previously admitted 118.
118?
And that can be shared with the jury in the gallery as well.
Yes.
Ms. Graff, do you see here now a closer picture of the
Try
blood
the vacay.
on the wall?
Yes.
All right. Tell me about that blood stain and what observations you made.
Well, the largest blood stain you see is clearly elliptical with some
That's true.
excess flow or a tail, a part of the volume that continued in the direction the blood drop was originally traveling when it impacted the wall. So this droplet was traveling downward and at a slight angle as you're looking at the wall, slightly to your right. There are other stains in the same area that are much smaller, but exhibit very similar characteristics, that the leading edge, the place where the blood droplet first met the wall, is rounded, and then you see that round shape transferring into elliptical. And those drops are all going toward the wall and then downward.
And you reviewed the certificate of laboratory analysis for that particular item, swab 39, is that correct?
I did.
All right, and did that contain Joseph Ryan's DNA profile?
I really would have to look at the report again. I don't recall.
Okay, that's all right. Did you make any observations regarding the blood spatter that was located on the laundry basket?
I did.
All right. Judge, at this time, I would ask to share Commonwealth's previously admitted 120.
120, okay.
It's tomorrow.
Tell me about the blood stain patterns that you observed on the laundry basket.
Well, there are multiple circular and elliptical stains. Some of those appear to be in a linear distribution, with the caveat that the side of the laundry basket has a lot of openings, so you don't have the full pattern there, but some of them do appear to be in linear distribution.
And we understand that linear distribution is consistent with what?
Well, you get linear distributions in projected stains, in cast-off stains, in impact spatter. All of those would have some linear components to them.
Thank you. And were those stains swabbed and tested as item 41 to your knowledge?
Yes, some of these stains were submitted for further analysis.
All right, and was Christine Banfield's DNA present in some of those stains to your knowledge?
Some of them had Christine Banfield's DNA profile.
Okay, thank you. All right, Judge, if we can pull this down. Judge, at this time, I would offer into evidence Commonwealth's 196.
Any objection to 196? Is that a no? Okay, no objection. 196 in evidence, then thank you.
Judge, I'd ask that be published. All right, Ms. Dallygraf, do you recognize this picture of Mr. Ryan's backpack?
This is an examination picture of the backpack that was under or partially under Mr. Ryan's left leg.
All right, so this is after it has been opened and spread out, is that correct?
Yes, this will be an examination where everything has been removed, photographed separately, and now looking at just the backpack alone.
Okay, so start us off with the thing that seems to confuse almost everyone. The circle that we see in the middle of the backpack, is that something you drew?
No,
Okay, to your knowledge, is that stitching on the backpack?
I can't tell from this photograph. I'd have to see a close-up.
Well, I get it in my Streamlabs chat anyway, but hey, I know you meant well. And Aiden said it this morning, so everyone thinks it's my birthday.
Oh, yes, I can see the stitches.
Okay, there we go. All right, so tell me about the blood stains that you observed on this object.
Multiple circular and elliptical stains.
All right, and what pattern of travel are those stains consistent with?
Well, some of them have some satellite or the continuation from the leading edge outward, which would indicate downward relative to looking at the photograph. Others are pretty indistinct. You can't really determine from some of them what they were, but all of this is relative to this surface.
All right, Judge, if we can pull this down. All right, and Judge, if I can share what was previously admitted as Commonwealth's 124.
Thank you, Kiwi.
124 under seal.
So, Ms. Telegraph, did you
KDD.
examine this photo relative to the one that we just shared and admitted into evidence as Commonwealth's 196?
Yes.
All right, so tell me what observations you made of the staining on the backpack as it appears in this picture relative to 196.
Well, I look at it in the context of the scene, how it was originally photographed before it was moved by officers in the scene, and to identify the patterns or the shapes of the stains that we could see in the examination photograph compared to what is visible here, to see if we can see the entire pattern or the portion of the pattern, to determine if the blood is deposited while it's in the orientation, location, everything that we see in this image, just by comparing those stains during examination quality and the in-scene context.
Okay,
Yeah.
and what did your examination reveal regarding the location of these stains and the location of the items in the bag?
Well, one of the
Yes, it's in Denmark. It's bad luck if someone wishes you a happy birthday before your birthday.
largest of the stains that we saw in the previous photograph, you can see a portion of it going into a fold as you're looking down at the lining as it was laying there when they first photographed it in place.
Okay, and is that consistent with the location of the objects in the bag as we see them photographed here?
I'm not sure I understand the question. We're
Okay.
talking about just the lining?
Yes.
Well, it appears that at least part of that lining is not exposed when we look at the overall shape of that. So we
Judge, I'm
see only
sorry.
part of that
I'm
shape
going to
here.
object to that question that we approach.
I'll sustain the objection, just ask the next question.
Okay. Is the location of the items as we see them photographed here consistent with the stains that are beneath them?
Objection,
All right,
Judge.
sustain the objection.
Okay.
I think one of the jurors are probably texting in a threat to the courthouse now, just to get
Was
out of
there
there.
staining on the items as they are photographed here that created a pattern with the staining
For you, the one
on the
who's
lining
being
of
wished
the
happy
bag.
birthday.
as evidenced in 196?
Judge, I'd object. I don't know, well, actually, I'll see if she can
All
answer.
right, I'll overrule the objection.
There are some small stains on some of the items. However, what I'm looking for is to see, can I see the entire pattern that was on the lining with these objects in place? If all of that staining happened with these objects in place, then we should see those
Judge, I think
stains.
I would object. I think that we're going to
All right, I'll
where-
sustain the objection. Next question.
Okay.
Okay. Well, you miss all the shots you don't take, and this
Based
lady
on your
has taken
review
them.
of the certificates of analysis, was Mr. Ryan's DNA observed in the stains to the liner of the backpack?
My recollection is those were the DNA profile of Joseph Ryan.
In your review of the body-worn camera, were you able to make any observations regarding the placement of the Glock 19M, Mr. Banfield's service weapon, at the time of the officer's first entry into the primary bedroom?
Yes,
Okay. And where was the Glock Model 19M?
on the, I believe that'd be the southeast corner of the mattress.
All right, and did you make any observations of the blood pattern in the area of the weapon?
On the weapon itself, on the pistol, there was what appeared to be contact.
The rumor is that there'll be 2 witnesses today. This witness was to last 1 hour. It's been 3 hours now, and it could probably have been 30 minutes.
All along that entire side of the gun.
Just
When you say that
just
side of the
under
gun, which side of the gun?
The side that was up as it's laying on the,
1,000, I think.
on the mattress.
But I have a cheap car. We don't have well, I'm not rich enough to have a fancy car, so I think I pay like 6,000 Danish, which is just under 1,000.
In your expert opinion, based on the location of the blood on Mr. Ryan's hand, the location of the blood on his pants, the location of the blood stains on his hip, and your review of all of the evidence in this case, including the autopsy reports, are you able to opine as to whether or not Joseph Ryan
I don't know.
was
what
in the
your
position where he was
means.
found when police arrived, when those bloodstains were transferred?
Objection, Your Honor.
All right,
I think this
fine.
goes.
Approach.
I do not have any further questions. Thank you so much. I appreciate your patience.
All right, cross-examination.
Judge, would it be appropriate to go now, or?
Well, how long
we
is your-
can have a break for the,
How long is your cross-examination?
I anticipated probably being at least as much, if not
Okay,
more.
all right. Ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and take our
Why?
lunch break now.
Why?
So we'll come back then at 1:45 to give you an hour, okay? So again, do not discuss the case and don't do any outside research,
No,
okay? We'll see you at
it can't be as long as this
45.
lady. Oh.
Again, ma'am, since you're still having testimony, please do not discuss your testimony with anybody to include the prosecutors, okay? All right, thank you. See you at 1:45.
What, if any, was this morning? What, if any, was... Again, how much time can he spend cross-examining this? Because the blood spatter is the blood spatter. It's not going to make Ryan be the one who had the knife, because clearly shut up. There wasn't directional blood spatter that could indicate he had stabulated her. It's, oh, no, don't say that. Don't say that. So after all of that, she couldn't get her opinion in. Well, she couldn't get her opinion in because they discussed this before we started, that she was only to have a discussion about the blood spatter. And she wanted her to have an opinion about what, if any, how did what look when officers arrived at the scene, and could something have changed since before then? How is she to have an opinion even though she's an expert? She doesn't know. In her expert opinion, she can say, well, the blood spatter indicates that the blood was traveling in that direction, in that direction, in that direction, in that direction, or it was not traveling at all. That's what a blood spatter expertise is. It's directional. It's not. Do you think that he was on the floor when the police arrived? I really don't like what this prosecutor just did. It was almost 3 hours of abso-effing-lutely nothing. Nothing. Sounds like for the rest of the day. I hope not. I really hope that the state could rest today, because you can't give the jury this as your second to last witness. This is why I said I would have brought in, I would do the normal thing. I would do all the boring stuff, and then I would have the nanny. This is how we set it up. I would have the ME look at all this blood. And then I would say, closing arguments. So they were angry, they saw all the blood, and they were ready to crucify him. Now they sat and listened to a lady who couldn't figure out what, if any, could be perhaps because she was asked questions she couldn't answer. That's yeah. It was very clunky, and he won his objections. And that's the thing. The objections, he was winning them because this lady didn't tailor the questions within the parameters she was set. And it's just a bad look. It's bad look. The Dr. Marie Russell. Yeah, she was great. But again, it's kind of like dancing. You can be a bad dancer, but if you have a great partner, you can kind of make it work. But the problem is, if the one who is leading the dance lacks a leg, is blind in one eye, and can't hear the music, it'll be a bad dance. There's just no way to fix that. And it seemed like this prosector was that. She was a one-legged, deaf, blind person, because she couldn't keep a story going. And it's what I'm always saying, when you have experts, they need to tell stories. They have to be storytellers. Because if you just sit there and say there's blood spatter on the hamper too, yeah. What does that indicate? Objection. So what do you think it is? It doesn't work. It doesn't work. Imagine, think about the great expert questions, or the great experts you have seen on the stand. A Dr. Mommy, or Dr. Muffin, whatever you want to call her. Brass Daddy, Dr. Marie Russell. They were good because they told stories, and the one questioning them had that story down, and they just took them by the hand. This lady was trying to testify while asking questions, and it'll get an easy interruption, and when you get interrupted, you will kind of fall out of rhythm. no anime. I don't love this torture. I really hate them. So yeah. Anything we need to? What if any is going on here? No one know what's going on here, Crazy Amy. It's horrendous. It's horrendous. Mummy muffins. What was the Emmy lady's name during that horrific nightclub fire where all those kids were trapped, piled up in the entrance? Uh, that was Dr. La Posada. She was great. Did you all know that Crazy Amy is 6'10"? No. Did you all know that Shizzy is less than 4 feet? Well, I did put a brush through it before I sat down. The expert's questions are fun to figure out the puzzle pieces in his brain. Oh yeah, that's the expert is very squirrely, but he's a really very smart guy, and a lot of people will say, "Oh, he's just a weirdo," but he's actually very intelligent, and more people should watch him. I saw he was doing something about Aiden's arrest report yesterday, and I think a lot of people would get some newer insights by watching the expert, because he has this weird approach to things that's one of the things that I really love, because I used to sit when I did my night shows, a lot of times we would sit and talk for 2-3 hours in the morning after, and I really loved it because he has this brain that just sees things a different way than a lot of people, and in a business like YouTube, it's really good to try and have someone who will challenge you, but they will challenge you with something new. Birds are drones. That's true. Since I believe 67, CIA destroyed all the birds, and they are now drones. That's just a fact. You don't have to discuss it. Not who I'm thinking of. It'll probably wake me up in the middle of the night. I don't know. I don't know. Dr. La Posada, she blew my socks off to take gumption to go through all of that, and ER's quick triage with both doctor ladies are trailblazers. They were great. There's so many. This is always, and this is why I love being called a massage therapist. One thing I've noticed: female experts are often way better experts than men, because they have the storytelling part of it down. A lot of men will go technical, and you don't need technical because the juries are idiots. Just look at me. I'm a juror. And you need the storytelling, and they can be highly informative, but at the same time, they will keep it simple, stupid. Where I think a lot of men have a tendency to keep it very complex. As I always go back to Mr. Green, I think his name was the phone expert for the Karen Reed in the first trial. You couldn't understand a word of what he was saying, not one word, because he just, oh, I'm such a smart guy. Let me show you how smart I am. I think men have a tendency to do that, where women are better at explaining what and how and when. So, as an international renowned massage therapist, I always enjoy good experts, and I think most of the good experts tend to be women. Of course, you have Jessica Hyde. There's always an exception to the rule. Always an exception to the rule. Well, I'm always trying to talk to people about distributing my load, and no one really is biting. Silly Dane, why am I silly? That is an excellent question. Thank you for asking. Yeah, that's always a good thing. The Jesties don't claim her. No, that's one Jessica we don't need over here. Jessica Hyde. Ugh. You don't bite? Oh my. But enough yippity yap. We are back in 45 minutes. Go get yourself some lunch. And of course, I cannot tell you what to do. But if you know a local Colombian, maybe ask him if he has something that can keep you awake, because I foresee a long afternoon. Loads are not for biting. No, especially not the load delivering implement. Don't bite that. This isn't a night show. Tell chat that. Tell chat that this isn't a night show, because chat. Some of you ladies need to calm down. Some of you ladies are. I know it's a Tuesday, it's Taco Tuesday, but it seems like it's Fish Taco Tuesday at your house. Shame. Shame on you. Come back in 45 minutes.
I'm Jimmy. How y'all doing?
I know English is your second language, but you don't word
It's
the
my
questions
third,
carefully.
but I'm still better at it than you. You are
The most important people in this case that everybody seems to have forgotten in this room is the jury. So we're going to take a 15-minute break and both sides take a pregnant pause and think about the jury.